Okay, hi everybody. My name is Lisa, and I'm going to talk to you today about herbs and the nutritional value of herbs and how to cook with them. I became interested in herbs about 5 years ago after talking to a friend of mine at work, Margaret Hahn. She is a dietitian and she's also a master gardener. And she got me very interested in herbs and how to use them, and so I'm going to share everything I know about herbs with you today. The first herb that I'm going to talk about is thyme. Thyme is one of my favorite herbs. It has a fresh lemony taste. You can use it in oven potatoes. You can put it in vegetables and with eggs, scrambled eggs, it's very good with. And a lot of people use it with cooking with ham and, or not ham, excuse me, lamb and fish. The nutritional value of thyme is great. It has large amounts of vitamin K in it, which is good for clotting of the blood, and it protects the cell membranes also. Oregano is my next herb that I'm going to speak to you about, and oregano is an Italian herb. It doesn't like a lot of rain. It likes to be dry. As Margaret says, it doesn't like wet feet. And it's used in a lot of Italian dishes, and it gives any meat that you want to pair it with an Italian spin. What I do with my oregano is when I have a lot of it, I'll take it and snip it off, put it on a plate, and just let it dry. It's like 2 weeks it'll dry, and then it becomes just your dried herb that you have had. You don't have to go out and buy it, and it works great. And it's an excellent source of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and antibacterial properties. Okay, the next herb that I'm going to talk to you about is chives. Chives is in the onion family, and it's a very mild form of an onion, and it contains calcium and vitamin C as well as antioxidants that fight cancer. And it's, like I said, very mild and delicate, so when you are cooking with it, you just need to be very careful to not let it burn, because it can burn pretty easily. A lot of people top their food with chives, as far as they'll sprinkle chives on their potatoes or fish or something like that at the end of the cooking process. So the next herb is cilantro. Now, if you've never tried cilantro and you try it, you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between at all with cilantro for people that I know anyway. And I personally love it. It looks a lot like parsley when you're in the grocery store if you're going to buy it. So you need to either read the label or smell it, because it has a distinct pungent smell that smells a little bit like anise. And a lot of people use cilantro in soups or stews or salads. And of course, salsa. You cannot have, in my opinion, you cannot have salsa without cilantro. It's the richest herbal source of vitamin K. There's new evidence that cilantro limits the neuronal damage in the brain that helps with the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. So there's more research going on with that, but that was very interesting, I thought. Okay, my next herb is parsley. And parsley is the most common herb of all. Most people are very familiar with parsley. It has a light peppery flavor that complements other seasonings very well, so it's used a lot in cooking. Most often used in salsas, salads, and sprinkled over dishes before serving to give it a fresh taste. Flat leaf or Italian parsley, they're the same thing, has the best flavor and texture for cooking. And the curly leaf parsley, it's most commonly used as a garnish, just kind of on the side of the plate. Parsley is full of minerals and vitamins, and there's more research needed, but it looks like that it has antiseptic properties for teeth and gums, so dentists are interested in that. So we'll see what happens with that research. The next herb is mint, and mint is not just used for desserts. Most people think of mint and they think, oh, it goes with ice cream or dessert or brownie or something like that. It is used in a lot of Indian dishes to cool the spicy curries that go on top of the Indian food. It highlights that really well. It is excellent with lamb, and it's used in salad sauces and drinks, of course. Mint tea or mint juleps are a common drink. It has the highest antioxidants of any food, and it's used also to soothe the upset stomach and possibly irritable bowel syndrome. And mint has menthol, which helps to break up phlegm also, so that's interesting. Another herb is rosemary, and rosemary is a very tough woody herb with pungent evergreen smell. It's unmistakable. If you smell rosemary, you'll definitely think of an evergreen tree. It's very strong flavor, so use it sparingly when you're first starting to cook with it. It's used with all meats and fish. I like to use it with red meat. I will put it in a bundle and put it in with my roast and in the crock pot, and it gives it a really good flavor. You can also chop it up and put it with some other spices and use it as a rub on your steak before you cook it. Along with antioxidants, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it was traditionally used to treat muscle pain, improve memory, and boost the immune system. So, okay, and last but not least, my absolute favorite herb, and that is basil. I use basil all of the time. When I started my herb garden, I started with maybe one, I believe, basil plant, and quickly have grown to now I have about 6, I think, basil plants because I love it so much. What I do is make a lot of pesto, and then I'll freeze that. So starting off, sweet basil is what I use. There's lemon basil and Asian basil also, which they're fine, but I think the sweet basil has a better taste. It's, like I said, it's excellent in making pesto, bruschetta, and caprese salad. I will show you here. I just recently made some fresh, with some fresh tomatoes. I made some fresh bruschetta, and you can put this on toast, or you can put it over salad, kind of as a dressing. It's very healthy. And all it is chopped up tomatoes, olive oil, of course basil, garlic, and then some fresh lemon squeezed on top of it, and that's it for the bruschetta. Another really good use for basil is the caprese salad, and all that is fresh mozzarella, a tomato, and fresh basil, and then you have balsamic dressing, and I use it as a reduction and then just kind of pour it all over it, and it is spectacular. It's so good. What you need to remember with all herbs, actually, though, is you don't let any herb flower out, if you will. And what I mean by that is, in this picture of basil, I will show you, get this kind of closer. There's some flowers on the top of that basil plant, and that's not good. That means it will stop growing and the leaves will get really small and you're done with it then. So you have to make sure and cut it off before it starts flowering out, and that's for any herb. And you can use dried herbs, which I do for my extra herbs, for rosemary, for the oregano. You can use the dried herbs. Just remember that it's stronger, so you need to be very careful how much you use. And to wake up dried herbs, by the way, pour whatever you want in your hand, and then to sprinkle over your dish, make sure and rub your hands together. That gets the oils and the herb activated, so you have better flavor and better use of it. So don't be afraid to use herbs, start using them however you want. It's they're a great thing. Obviously, they're full of nutrition, and just experiment with different herbs, with different recipes, and see what you like. Everybody's different on how they want to use their herbs. When you're able, grow your own. Of course, you can go buy it in a grocery store, but if you're able to, grow your own. That's better, and you know where it came from. Plus, it makes you feel good going out to snip your own herbs, and it doesn't have to be in a garden. Also, you need to remember that if you live out in the country and you have all kinds of animals and stuff that you think are going to eat your herbs up, just put them in containers and put them up on your deck out of the way. That's what I do, and it works great. no problems at all with any animals coming up on the deck. So anyway, I've kind of talked about herbs with you, and I hope that gets you excited about using herbs and the nutritional value of them and how it will enhance all of your meals. They're wonderful to use. So good luck and get cooking. All right, I forgot. I got to show you my audience. Here we go. There they are. Wave, everybody. Okay.